What's up, guys? It's your boy Stevie G, coming at you with another episode of the Seamless Garage podcast. And I want to welcome you in. If you haven't heard of this podcast before, if you're a new listener, first time ever listening in, this podcast, the Seamless Garage podcast, is all about cars, about building them, aftermarket, all the stuff about cars, car news, updates, all that stuff with the automotive field. I am a master technician myself for Nissan, so I've got a load of information that I can give you guys. So we'll have technician advice, all that kind of stuff. We've got our own shop, so we've got updates on that, and kind of like on our YouTube channel we'll have ins and outs on that, and like how-tos and learning experiences and all that good stuff. So anyway, but on this podcast, it's just going to be a wealth of information I'm hoping to give to you guys that you could use to better your life. And then also, we'll be giving out just general life advice as well, because it can be helpful. It doesn't matter what you're into or what genre, or what, niche you're into. Lifestyle advice always helps, and it's always good to better yourself and have personal development. So anyway, this podcast is all about that. I want to do Q&As, but I need more questions on that. But let's get that going. So anyway, checking this out. I don't know if you noticed this right here. This is a one-off, but we do have the black with the white logo shirt, and then the hat, same thing. If you're on the actual Spotify podcast, you won't be able to see it, but check out the website, seamlessgarage.myshopify.com. That is the website. You can get the hat or the black with the white shirt. If you guys like this enough, I'll make a run of these. But right now, I'm only doing runs of the black with the white block out, and then the gray hat with the white lettering. So anyway, if you like those, go check it out on that website. Also on that website, you will find I do a weekly blog where it's just stuff like what this episode's going to be about, about pumping you up, getting you motivated. And then there'll be tech tips on there, and there'll be stuff like that on there. But once a week, every Wednesday, I'll post on there a blog. It's what I call a blog. So, but anyway, on that website, that's where you can get all the apparel. You can get the blog and information and stuff. And eventually, I'm going to be putting a little embed on there where you can access the podcast through there. But right now, I don't have that, and so that's where we're at with that. Anyway, also check us out. We're on most of the major social media platforms. We're on TikTok. That's under my name, though, so it'll be Stevie Gillan on that one. We're on Instagram, Seamless Garage, Facebook, Seamless Garage, and all that good stuff. And obviously, our YouTube, you can't forget about that. That's where a lot of our good content when it comes to wrenching and tips and all that good stuff on there. Also, a video form of this podcast will be posted there as well. So if you're already listening to this video on YouTube, thank you for showing up. Make sure you subscribe, like the video if you got something out of it, and be sure to share this. Please share this with another person that is interested in cars just like you are, or interested in anything that could help them out. Do you think this would help them? Please share it with them, because that's how we spread the word of this, and this is how we get the information out to everybody on how to be better mechanics, how to be just better in life, just seamless all the way across, you know what I mean? So anyway, this episode is part 2 to my powerhouse, what I'm calling my powerhouse. The first one was, if you haven't checked it out, it's the episode right before this one. It's called Vision Board. And on this episode, we're going to be talking about affirmations. Okay, so if you don't know what that is, we're going to dig into that. But without further ado, let's hop into the affirmations, man. Alright, so hopping right into affirmations. Some of y'all may know what affirmations are, some of you don't. It's not a new and crazy, it's not a new discovery or anything like that, you know what I mean? It's something that's been around for ages, but it works. Okay, so what are affirmations? Affirmations are things that you can read, or you can verbalize yourself, um, speaking about yourself, in order to actualize that, in order to make that part of you. Okay, so it can be anything. It can be anything. Affirmations or whatever you want to come. So whatever you want to become. So remember, with affirmations, it's not what you are currently. It's not. You're not. When you're describing yourself, you're not describing yourself currently. You're describing yourself how you want to be, how you want people to perceive you. That's the main thing. It's like, how do you want to come across to people? How do you want people to perceive you? That is the main thing with affirmations. Okay, that is what you want. You want people. You want it to where it's how people think about you. Okay, that's the best way I can say it. But how they work with that is that over time, you're just going to say them over and over. Let me just give you an example. Let's just go. Let me pull one off my list. I'm going to give you guys my list in a minute. I got 10 of them that I read every day. But for instance, Stevie G is a great father. That one pops out to me big time. So Stevie G is a great father. Now, may I be a great father right now? Sure. However, every time I read this, it reminds me, everybody's like, well, you shouldn't have to have a reminder. Guess what? Maybe I think I'm a great father, but I want to show the world that I'm a great father. And so saying this over and over every day, Stevie G is a great father. Stevie G is a great father. Eventually, that is going to be what everybody says. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm just going to show it. I'm going to do it's, and it's not even like I'm looking for a result like on people actually saying this to me. It's the result that it has with me on becoming that person. And every time I read it, I'm trying to find ways to become a better father, things I can do better. I read books. I don't have one with me right now, but I'm reading books on how to become a better father. You know what I mean? Specifically, how to become a better father to daughters, because right now I have a daughter. So I'm even going in more specific in that direction. But all this does is pique my interest, or makes me rise to the occasion, and now all of a sudden I'm focused in on that. So remember the 10 things that I do for my powerhouse. What the powerhouse is to keep me focused and to keep me going and to keep me progressing through life, in the direction that I want to go, instead of just in any old direction. You know what I mean? Just living life, and where you go is where you go. All of this stuff keeps me focused in the direction that I want to go, and the direction that Stevie wants to go with his life, not the direction that the world wants to take him, right? So anyway, that's how they work, okay? That's how they work. You keep saying them, you start actualizing them, and it's no hocus pocus, it's no magic or anything like that. What it simply is it keeps being brought up in your head. And let me tell you a little tip. Let me tell you a little trick. Or something. It's a fact. It's not a trick. Let me tell you a little tip, a little fact. Okay? You are what you think about. You will become what you think about all day long. There's no question about it. If you get obsessed about something, or you start thinking about something all the time, you will become that thing, or you will become that type of person. Okay? So it doesn't matter what it is. The thing is, you've got to think about it. If you bring it up, if you raise the question, Stevie G is a great father, ooh, I better start doing something about that, right? Regardless of whether I think I am or not. What else can I do to even put more car links on the next guy, right? As far as a great father goes, right? Because everything's a competition with me. That's all in my head, though. I'm not projecting that outside. I'm not trying to compete with other dads, but it's all in my head. What can I do to gap the next best dad? You know what I mean? What can I do to gap him and just leave him in the dust by being even a greater father, right? So that's just what that comes down to. So, that's actually, what affirmations mean to me. Affirmations just mean to me, like, let me bring them up on the daily so that I can focus on them, and let's push forward in this. You know what I mean? Like, they just keep me focused, plain and simple. So anyway, I'm going to share you my 10 affirmations. I'm going to tell you in a minute. I'm going to tell you how I came across those affirmations, how you can acquire them, how they will come to you naturally, and how to apply them, all that stuff. But let's go through mine real quick. Kind of give you a rundown of what I'm thinking on each one of these. You don't have to share these with anybody. I'm going to share mine with you so that you can kind of get an idea of where you need to go and the things you need to be thinking about. And you can even go way further outside the box than I did. But remember that all this stuff, even your vision board, like anything that I'm going to share in this powerhouse, this 10 things of my powerhouse, you can keep all this to yourself. You don't have to share this with anybody. It's not going to help you to share it with anybody anyway. But if you want to, do it. I do it to help motivate people. I do it to give people ideas. And I also share it because it's a reminder for me when I scroll past it again. So anyway, let's go through them. So first one is Stevie G is never late. So here's the deal with that. I know that I have a problem being late every now and then. And this 10 affirmations, I wrote this down a year ago, okay? And I don't have a problem being late anymore very much. But did you hear very much, right? I should never be late. Never late is what Stevie G is. He's never late. So still got some work to do. Still got some progress to make on that one. So we're leaving it on there. Stevie G is never late. So until I am never late ever again, it's going to stay on there. Stevie G leads by example. And I need to put a slash on there, leads from the front, right? Not from the back telling people what to do. Stevie G leads by example from the front. So why I wanted to do that is because I'm coming into a leadership position. I've been in that position for a while now. But even without that, like in general, I want to be a great leader because somebody's always looking up to me, right? Now it's my daughter, right? My wife and, cousins, brothers, friends, all that stuff look up to me. So I need to lead by example. And the way I'm leading by example, it's no talk, it's all action, right? So leading by example, I need to be showing how it's done. I need to be showing what needs to be done. So that is the main thing with that is like making sure that I am setting the right example and I'm doing what I said I'm going to do. That's one of my main things, man. Is doing what I said I would do. So anyway, the third one is Stevie G always gives 110% full throttle, all out. I don't know if you've seen some of my posts on Instagram. I talk about this all the time. It's like I got two speeds, man. I got two speeds. One of them's full throttle and one of them's dead asleep. Like my wife knows I can fall right asleep. I can fall asleep standing up if I'm not interested. But if I'm into it and it's something that I'm doing and I've committed to, I'm 100% on it. And people hate me in that direction too. People hate me because it doesn't matter what it is. It could be a game of Scrabble. It could be, I don't know, who gets to the front door of Walmart first. Like, I'm gonna win. Like, or I'm gonna try to win. Like, I'm gonna be super competitive and I'm gonna give it my all. And people think that I'm competing against them. No, I'm competing against myself. Like, I'm trying to do the best that I can. That's all. That's all I'm trying to do is the best that I can. When I get frustrated and stuff, it's not because of anybody else or that I'm upset about anybody else being better than me or anything like that. It's that I know I can do better. So, anyway, 110% full throttle all the way, baby. So, the fourth one is Stevie G is a great father. We already talked about that one, but it is just something that it's not necessarily that I think that I'm not. It's just that I always want that in the back of my mind. It's there for decision making. It's there for, is this a great father move? Is this a great father move? Are you being a great father? Is this what a great father would do? So that's just where it's at for me, and that one will be on there till the day I die. I'm going to try to be the best father in the world. So the fifth one, Stevie G is a man of his word. This one means so much to me. This one means more than, I want to say more than anything, but that's not true. The one above that means the most. But anyway, this one means a lot to me because it's something that I aspire to be. It is something that, it's a quality that I look for in men, like men that I look up to. This is a quality they have. They're a man of their word. So if they say something, they're going to do it. There's no question. You don't even question that guy. You don't even question that guy. If he says something, you ain't even, it's not even a worry in your mind anymore. It's gonna get handled. You know what I mean? Or if he says it, you can put it. You know, you can bank on it. You know what I'm saying? You can bank on it. So, you know, my grandfathers were that way. Some good friends that have passed, and some good friends that I still have to this day, that I look up to. That's what they are. If they say it, they're gonna do it, man. So a man of his word. Again, something I need to work on, something I aspire to be, and hopefully I can be that for a bunch of people eventually. I'd love to be that guy, and that sense of security, and that sense of like, for sure it's going to get handled. And I'm sure maybe I am that for some people already, but I know personally, internally, maybe everybody else doesn't know, but internally I know I can do a better job of that. And my wife is a great example of that. She will hold me to it. And I actually talked to her recently about that. She said that I'm getting better about it, but I have a problem with that. It comes down to procrastination, which is one of the next ones here in a minute. But it just comes down to procrastination and really wanting to be a people pleaser and say yes to everybody. So that's another problem. So basically, just being a man of my word. So anyway, the next one is Stevie G stays committed to his goals. Goes back to being a man of his word, but also adds in that goal aspect of like, finish what you started. Now, this is something that I've been good at pretty much my whole life. I've always been good at finishing what I'm started, because what? That full throttle mentality, right? So finishing what you started. But I will go deep into something, and then after a year or so, I may have a phase where I go do something else. And I don't want to do that anymore. I'm going to finish what I started, and I want to stay committed. So something that I can do. Stevie G does not procrastinate, what I was talking about just a minute ago. I can procrastinate because I know that I'll get it done later. But here's something that I've done because of this affirmation. Something that I've done is that now I handle whatever's in front of me. So if it pops up on me all the time, the procrastinator is still there. I just don't listen to him anymore. The procrastinator is still talking to me. I just don't listen to him. We call him the bitch voice, and I don't listen to him. Okay, so the procrastinator is I walk by and I see the paper towel roll sitting there empty, right? Procrastinator in me says, let that sit there, you can get it later. But the boss, Stevie, now tells me, hey, throw that away and go refill it right away. Like right now. Like, what's stopping you? You know, and the procrastinator's like, oh, no, man, you were on your way to go do this. No, dude, just go handle it real quick and then we'll move on. And I've gotten so much progress from that. I've moved further forward. I've been just, I'm got a loss for words because it's amazing the transition that I've had to where I just handle everything. And so things are cleaner, things are more in order, things are more organized. I noticed it. I started doing this as you know, in the shop as well, and I started realizing that things are more organized. I'm faster and more efficient at my job, and so it's really come along and helped me a lot in a lot of things. Now I still have a long way to go on the procrastination because it's going to happen, but I'm going to make sure that it doesn't. You know what I mean? I'm going to push through and try to make sure that never happens again. And so, like I said, the way I handle that is when it's in front of me, when it's a thought that pops up, bing, hey, that needs to get handled, I don't let the procrastinator talk. I just go ahead and handle it. The next one, number 8, would be Stevie G takes action. This kind of piggybacks off of procrastination with the taking action, you know what I mean, and doing it right now. But the other part of that I want is that I have all these great ideas. Constantly I'm coming up with great ideas, being creative. And once I get the creative juices flowing, like I start thinking about an idea, they all start coming. I start writing them down and I start thinking, you know what I mean? I start thinking about them and I get elaborate with it and it's great. But the problem is a lot of times I won't take action on those things. But I've noticed that when I do take action on them, great things come from it. So it's just something that I'm going to keep on there. It's very important that I take action on things and that I don't think all the time and just talk about things, that I actually go and do those things. So if you notice, like, we're already through 8 right here, and if you'll notice, like, there's like a common theme of like making sure that I don't become stagnant and I actually move forward, right? So like all these things are like, hey, go do it. Hey, go do it. So as you may already see, I've recognized that I have a problem with thinking and talking and not taking action as much. There are things that I 100%, 110% full on, but there are things that I'm a little bit anxious about that I know are great, but I'm a little bit afraid of like how I'm going to do with them, and so I'll hold back. Like that common procrastination, like talk yourself out of it type of deal. So all of these are like action forward, you know what I mean? So, and the last two are really important to me. I'm still having that problem as we speak on this podcast. You can probably tell already. Stevie G is well spoken, so that's what I want people to say about me, is that I'm well spoken. So I've always had a problem saying what I'm thinking. If I slow down, it gets better. But people that know me, when they hear me on the podcast, are like, hey man, you sound weird. I'm like, I know, I'm trying to slow down so that people understand what I'm saying. So I don't really care whether they think I sound weird or not, or if I don't sound like myself. There's nothing disingenuous about it. It's just that I want to slow down and make sure that I get my point across, because there's a lot going on up here, and there's a lot of great things that I want to give to you guys and that I want to say. So I'm trying to slow down and become a better speaker, be more well spoken. It's not necessarily the dictionary, like, oh, he knows all these words, his vernacular is great. That's not what I mean. What I mean is that I can get my point across, and you will understand what I'm saying to the fullest. So that's number 9. Number 10 is going to be Stevie G is a problem solver. So I like this one because it's again, it's an action forward, right? Like we're going to do something about the problem. But also it keeps me from, and I'm not very much of a complainer, but it will keep me out of that complaining state. It's like, okay, what can we do about it? Like, I understand your problem, like even inner dialogue, right? Like I'm like, man, this is a problem. What can I do about it? Like, let's take some action towards it, because it makes me feel better about the problem. That's the whole thing with losing or like coming across adversity, is that you learn from it by problem solving, by fixing the problem, figuring out the answer, and then next time that comes across to you, it's a piece of cake, right? Piece of cake. So those are my 10. Tell me what you think about those 10. Let me know. Hit me up in a DM on Instagram. My Instagram is TheRealStevie. But let me know what you think about that. DM me about it and see what you think about the 10 that I've got. You might actually take some of these yourself, maybe. I don't know. But let's go into how you choose those and how they're going to come to you more naturally than you just sitting here and thinking. Okay, thinking and brainstorming is great. But there's a process that I learned from a coach of mine that I'd like to pass along to you guys that worked great for me, and it cut out all the fluff and it got down to the bare bones of like really what I wanted. Okay. And it comes down to getting your heart rate up. It comes down to getting your blood flowing. You know how when you exercise or you go take a run or you chased your kid around the yard, I don't know, something that got your heart rate up. You know how you like felt really good, like, and the blood was flowing, and like you didn't have a filter, like you just kind of said stuff off the dome. That's what I'm going to do. That's the process that I'm going to show you. So what I want you to do, it doesn't really matter what exercise you use, as long as it's going to bring your heart rate up. It can be a bicycle, it can be jogging, sprinting, whatever, jump rope, all that good stuff. As long as it gets your heart rate up, it gets you going, gets you sweating. We want to get that heart rate up, okay? So we're going to do that. Get your heart rate up for about 5 minutes or so. And while you're doing that, just spit out random things that you're thinking. Just anything. You're just trying to clear your brain for the first 5 minutes, okay? So for the first 5 minutes, you're just whatever. Man, I need to clean this desk. Man, I need to get some new pens for my desk. Just random stuff that's popping off in your head. Man, you need to get your bank account and everything in order. Just all this random stuff that's popping up in my head. It's like, man, I need a new GPU for my PC. Just random stuff, right? Get all that out of your head. Whatever's going on that day, get it clear. Get all that dialogue gone. and then it's going to be bare bones. So then you start thinking, what do you want to be? Who are you, right? And so maybe you're running a little bit harder. If you're sprinting, sprint harder, whatever. Get your heart really going and start thinking. And you can even, like, it may sound crazy, but you can yell this stuff to yourself. You want to get emotional in this, like the running and stuff kind of breaks down that emotional barrier too, to where you don't have that filter. And start thinking about things that you want to be, things that you want people to say about you. Like, what does that mean to you? Like, think about like the person that you want to be and what people are saying about them, right? That's the important part. It's like, what are people saying about that person that you want to be? And you just start rattling those off. And it can be up to 20 or whatever. And then you'll pick, you can keep all 20, but you're really going to want to pick 5 to 10 because you don't want to read off 20 every day. Like you're going to forget some of them and it's not going to work out right. 10's really the most. You could cut back from 10, but 5 to 10, 5 to 8 really is that sweet spot. And that's what you want, that collection of 5 to 8 that mean the most to you, like that really describe that person that you want to become, because everybody wants to become the next best person, right? Like everybody wants to become a better person. So that's how you'll get that. And then, so once you get your list, how you're going to implement that is what you're going to do is you're going to write them down. I'd write them down on a piece of paper, like this here, like what I got for that. Write them down on a piece of paper. I've got them on my phone. I've got them right underneath my power list of things to do, my 5 important things to do for the day. I've got them down there as well, and I read them off in the morning. So I would highly suggest read them off every couple of hours in the day. However, it's most important that you read them first thing in the morning when you wake up, because then it already gets your mind on that and it gets you going, right? And then you read them right before bed. You read, that one's very important too. You read them right before bed. It's something about waking up in that mind state and going to bed in that mind state. Something about it just works, okay? It just works. So that's how I would implement them. Again, you can give yourself a reminder throughout the day, every couple of hours. But again, it's like the vision board where you can also print out a sheet of it, like type it out and print it out and put it in places where you'll see it. And like in the mirror in your bathroom when you're brushing your teeth, you can read them. At your office, at your desk, or whatever. All that stuff just is a constant reminder, and it's going to keep you going. And again, it's going to keep you focused, because that's the main thing about this powerhouse list, is keeping you focused. Okay, so that's it on the affirmations. You can look in further to it. There's plenty of YouTube videos out there on how to do it, but this is the best process that I've found so far, and it works for me. And I'll tell you right now, with these 10 affirmations, it has really changed my life. It has turned me into a totally different person. And if anything, it just really keeps me on track. So this has been number 2 out of the Powerhouse list. And I really appreciate y'all tuning in. If it did help you out, hit us up with a DM. Hit us up with a comment on the YouTube channel. Let us know what you like the most. Let us know, are you going to implement this? What are you going to put on there? What are some of your affirmations? Have you used affirmations before? Have they helped you? There's going to be plenty of car content coming. It's just really important to me. I just wanted to bring this to you guys because I think anybody can use this, and this can help anybody. You know what I mean? I don't want to just separate car guys from everybody. This can help you. So it's just very important. Something I use. If it wasn't something I use, I wouldn't bring it up. But it's something that I do in my life. So I feel very selfish not to share it with you guys. So if you already know about it, great. If you don't, give it a shot and let me know what you think. So anyway, check us out on all the platforms yet again. seamlessgarage.myshopify.com. That's where you can get the gear at. And it would really help out the channel and really help us. So we appreciate you there. And thanks again for listening. I'm out. See you later.